welcome back to the channel, guys. Slav Squad here. Today we got all our 3 bikes are here sitting ready to go. Kind of want to do some riding tomorrow, so today what I'm going to try to do is try to pull out the old CR50 125, and we got some carbs here. We got this old Mikuni, and I'm going to try to, I don't know what I'm going to try to do, like rebuild it or something. I don't know if you guys remember this one, but it had like a weird choke issue, like this choke was bent and stuff. We're going to try to put this carb into the 50. So yeah, let's get started. We got a lot of crap to move. Going to move this guy out of the way, move all these bikes out of the way, get to the 150 or the 125, pull it out, and start messing with it. So I'll get you guys in time lapse while we get that done, and we'll get started on the work. She's out and we are ready to get a new intake on here. So got the CDI mounted up, some double-sided tape holding on really nice. I'm excited to get this bike out, guys, because this thing's really fun to wheelie. Just don't like the forks. I like that it's BBR, but I don't like how short they are. If I do inverted on this, I gotta do different wheels because these are drum brakes. I have to do different wheels front and back. And I don't know. I really like the rims on this bike. The problem, they're also BBR. They're really nice color and everything. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we do. We're gonna take this carb apart real quick, just to give it a good clean, go over it. I'm gonna see if I can put on a different choke. Like, I might take the choke off of this and put it on here and see if that'll do the trick. Finally got that off. That took forever. Alright, let's look and see. Man, I like stabbed myself over here. Some dangerous stuff going on right there. Like nice and hard. And I like put my hand on it and stabbed myself so good. Nice way to start. I want to see what size jets this thing has. So this is a 15. And this one is a 145. We got the choke off of this guy. Everything here is the right size, but this is too big. So it's not gonna go in. That kind of sucks. That would have been nice to have. You gotta make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. Sometimes you put it on wrong and it only goes halfway down, and that's not how it should be. Everything's put on. Should work. I'm gonna give it a shot. Hasn't been started in a long time. I put fuel stabilizer in it earlier when I let it sit, so hopefully that held through and is gonna work fine. This bike This engine is like 10 years old. The whole bike, I bought it, how old was I? Like probably 16 years old. This bike is like 11 years old. Holy crap. And the engine, I bought it brand new. I got this bike. It's a CRF 50 with a 88 big bore kit on it. It was a 50 with an 88. And I ended up selling the 88. I'm not really a fan of the 88s. I don't like semi-auto. And I put this engine in right away, brand new. The pegs were touching the engine, so right there, some JB weld if you can see, because the pegs were touching the engine. It was rubbing it. It rubbed through and cracked within like a week. So I just took that case off the cover, and I just JB welded it, and it's been holding up for 11 years. And you guys saw how I started the channel with this bike, and how I was kind of sitting outside abused through all that, through sitting for a while, and you guys just saw first kick, started up, runs smooth. I'm impressed with this thing. Holy cow, this thing's a trooper, guys. If you want a Piranha 125, you'll never go wrong. It's quick, has good power, smooth, and it lasts for a long freaking time. Worth every penny. This bike, I swear. Oh man. I'm gonna try swapping the spark plug out and see if it still does that. Alright, we changed the spark plug. See if it still does it. Even though this is a brand new CDI, I just want to rule that out. So we're gonna try that real quick. Nope, that's not the issue. It's not spark plug. It's not the other thing. I'm wondering if I put that carb on there and then try it, maybe it's just the carb for some odd reason. I doubt it. I kind of think it's just time for the CDI to be, or the stator to be replaced, but just to be safe, I'm gonna try to put that carb in here and see what that does. Let's go for a little test ride, make sure it runs properly, and then I'll swap carbs. Oh, this thing kicks back hard. Make sure that there's no bogging issues or anything like that. Let's pop this guy off real quick. This is easy stuff. And that's a lot of why I show you guys how I do all this, so you can just do it yourself. Have some confidence in your own bike, your own work. You go out and ride your bike, something happens, you know how to fix it, even if you're camping or something. Just like that, easy money. Get that drain out. And now let's do it to the next. Let's do it to that one. Put the fuel on. Alright. Let's see how she does now. Alright, we swapped the needle on it. Let's see if it's doing the same thing as before. needle is not the issue. We have the old carb that was on there. We put on the new jetting. It's harder to start because there's no intake or filter, but let's see. Well, found out our problem, boys. It's just the jet, and I think it's just one of the jets because there's no O-ring on the jet. I'm gonna double check that. The other jet's the same size, but this one's different. See, it doesn't have a rubber right here, which the jet I put in does have it, and it's a different size. So I'm gonna see if I can get the same jet somewhere else, and one with the rubber. I just got out of MASH Motorsports. They hooked me up with 2 O-rings for free, and then they gave me that main jet to match this one, which is my good one. So I'm gonna put this little guy onto the other pit bike carb. That should run. We also snagged the filter, so that should work. MASH always hooking it up. If you guys are local in Spokane, Washington, go there. They're awesome people. They always do right by you. We're back home. We put the 110 because that's the closest they had. The 110 jet on the 140 bike, because we don't need more fuel on the 125, but the 140 could use it. I mean, it's not gonna hurt it. So we're gonna put that on, put that together, and we're gonna take the 107.5 that was on this carb and put it on this guy, and we're gonna see if they all work. Got the Project Y90 there sitting in the background, and as you guys have seen in our last video, it was bogging out really bad for some reason. It was like not right at the beginning, but like maybe, how would I say that, about a quarter throttle and up to 2/3 was like just bogging really bad. Like has it, I don't know, you guys could probably see from in here in the video, in our last video, how bad it was. So I'm here and I've already messed with this thing, and boy was that a pain in the freaking butt. So this is our Makuni carburetor that we bought, and for some reason I could not get this thing figured out at all. Like I took it apart, I cleaned it up, I did like everything that I can think of. This thing doesn't have like a normal pilot jet like most of the carbs do. Like this is a regular pilot jet. I've never seen a bike with no pilot jet like that, so that was really weird. But I took the whole thing apart, cleaned it all up, and I don't know, I put it back together, and then it would just idle super high, choke or not choke, screwed everything in, and still like in or out, doesn't matter, it's still super high RPMs. Took it back apart again and messed with it a little bit, adjusted the needle setting, adjusted the throttle cable, and when I got it back together it was running okay, but still had that weird bogging issue going on. So at this point I just like, screw this carburetor, I gave up. I almost felt like this carb was a little slower as well than the nib knockoff that we had, so I decided to give the nib one another shot. And when I opened it up, it had a 45 pilot jet, and it's pretty big. Most of them that I saw came with like a 40, so I put in a 42 in there, put that together, cleaned everything up, made sure, because the pilot jet kind of seemed like it was a little bit clogged for some reason, but I cleaned it all up, put it all back together, and gave it a try, started her up, did a little bit of fine-tuning, and so far, you know, it's been running really good right now. I took it out, floored it, no bog at all at the beginning, so that's good. I'm thinking it bogged at the beginning because the jet was too big, so too much fuel. That's what was going on before, I think. But I floored it, no more bog. Then I took it down the street, floored it, ran great, and it didn't backfire like the other carburetor. You'd floor it and it wouldn't have a bog, but it just backfired so much. I think this one backfired a lot before too, so I'm super excited that this thing is finally, the carb is good. Fingers crossed that it actually stays that way, because man, it's been a pain in the butt dealing with this carburetor. But now we have the other issue. Probably didn't notice, but my tire is like flat. This valve stem was kind of bent like sideways, and I pulled it back and I tightened up the nut because the nut was loose all the way. If you can see from the rust, the nut was sitting like right there. So from doing stoppies and things, I'm thinking that maybe the tube ripped on the inside. So we're gonna pull this tire or this wheel off, and we're gonna go drop it off and see if they can replace the tube for us, so that this week we can go for another ride. We got all the bikes lined up. We got new filter on the bikes. This is a new filter, but I just used the old cover for from the black bike. That one kind of sticks out. It like touches everything, so I just had to put on here so it's not so fat. But everything's put back together on both bikes. Let's see how they run now. Nice. Looks like we fixed the issue. This bike is ready to go. Sweet. I was trying to figure that out for a while. It's a good thing. It's nice to have multiple bikes, and you can like compare each, pull parts off each, and test them without wasting money. Kids going crazy out here. Let's see if this one works good now. Solid. Sweet. Everything runs properly. We got the wheel taken off. Bearings set aside. We're gonna grease those up later. And we're gonna head off to Mash Motorsports, see if they can get us taken care of today. We actually decided to take both wheels in. Obviously this tire is good, there's no issues with it, but when I went to Mash, they said it was like $20 for labor, $20 for a tube, and it was $55 for a front tire. And I was thinking pull the studs off or just replace both tires and keep the studs on these tires. This will be the winter setup, so I just decided to go that route because then I saved $20 in labor if I buy the tires from them. So in the long term it made more sense, I guess. So we're gonna take this wheel and we're gonna go take it to Mash as well, have them swap new tires on both wheels, and we'll have the dirt bike ready for the dirt. I mean, we don't really need the studs. The weather's been really great. Not expecting any snow anytime soon. Although the studs were pretty awesome in the dirt. I had a good time in the dirt last time with the studs. It hooked so nicely. But it's okay. We don't need it. We're gonna have some nice new tires and we're gonna go do some riding for you guys. Back in the garage, got the tires put on. It's the new front tire. Looking good. Not a fan of how narrow it is, because like this is a, what size is this? Dunlop 60 by 100 by 14. The one I had was 70 by 100 by 14. So the width, as you can see, looks like a pretty good difference. But this is more the regular tire that you get. It'll be better in the dirt. I guess the wider one will be better for the ice anyway, so it's all right. But got this guy put on as well. What size is this one? It says 80 by 100 by 12, and my old one was also 80 by 100 by 12. So sweet. Brand new tires, should be nice. Boom, all done. She's looking good. She's gonna be such a ripper in the dirt. I'm so excited to go ride it. Soon we'll get out there. Carb should be solid now, so fingers crossed everything is ready to go on this bad boy. We went through now the brakes. Had to bleed the brake system because they were kind of weak and they were making some sound, so we cleaned up kind of the brake rotor, made sure that it doesn't make noise because it was making noise last time. And we also added, or we extended this arm a little bit, and we moved this pedal down because before the pedal was like up here, so you have to have your foot like this to push the brakes. And we did that by putting that bolt, if you can see down there, because that's like a stopper right there. And the bolt, if you put a bolt, the longer the bolt in, the lower that this thing goes. So yeah, this thing works good. Got not too much brake play, just got right there. So should be pretty nice. Hopefully it doesn't slide too hard when you push the brakes a little bit, but overall we're ready to hit the dirt, boys. All right guys, that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. You got all the bikes ready to go. I'm so excited. First time we have all 3 bikes running good, where we can actually go riding. So all 3 of them running solid. I'm so excited. This thing's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be taking this out more often, doing like little stunt sessions and stuff like that. Just gonna need a new tire soon. This is probably like a 7-year-old tire. But the front looks nice, so I don't know, I'm excited. So yeah, let's go riding tomorrow. We'll pick up tomorrow and see whether we're going to go for a little ripsky for you guys or not. If not, next week for sure.